What's up and welcome back to the Kind of Funny Gamescast for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Of course, I'm your host, Tim Geddes, and I'm incredibly excited to welcome back to doing shows with me, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
You were in Seattle.
I was in Seattle.
For a long time.
For like a week and a half, yeah.
Crazy, man. You're there for PAX, you're there for fun, just having a good old time.
Just hanging out, and I'm happy to be back.
Yeah.
It was nice to be away. I think I needed the break. It's nice to like have time off of content to then realize like, oh man, when you do multiple podcasts every single weekday, you kind of like, it kind of wears down on you a little bit. Yeah. And then you go away, you come back and it's like, oh, I got energy now.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to talk about video games now.
Let's do it. I can't wait to hear about the games because you played a bunch of PAX.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. That's what we're talking about today. We're also joined by another beautiful motherfucker that was at PAX West, Andy Cortez.
Hello, Tim.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. Great to see you. So excited to have Blessing back, and he got his magic cards, and I think that's what's adding to a lot of the excitement and
the magic cards did a lot.
Yeah.
I did the thing where I flew back on Friday. I landed at like 1 p.m. and I went home and then came straight to the office because I heard the cards delivered. Just so I can I wasn't even coming to work. I was just like here to pick up the cards. I popped on stream for like a second. I was like, I'm going home with these cards though. I gotta open these. I gotta start deck building.
You got it.
Oh man, and I'm going to MagicCon later in the month.
Yeah.
What a time.
Oh, overall, how was Seattle?
Seattle was fun. Seattle was a really good time. PAX was so fucking dope. I'm sure me and Andy are gonna just talk a lot about the event itself, but like, it feels like PAX is back, right? Like
I hear that.
Going there, seeing I registered. So I was originally just going for vacation. I have family at PAX, right? Or family in Seattle. I was going to in at PAX. So I was going to Seattle just to spend the week. But when I saw that PAX was coinciding with that, I was like, well, I might as well attend PAX. And then I was like, well, I'm here, so I might as well. I started seeing emails for appointments and stuff. So I was like, oh, well, there's a thing happening. I might as well play this Nintendo game. Oh, I might as well go to this Xbox thing. And then it just turned into a work trip at first before my vacation. But overall, like, Seattle as a city, I so fucking love. Like, it's funny because whenever I talk to people about Seattle, people's main complaints are the weather, and then like people in Seattle can be a bit depressed sometimes. Like there's this thing called the Seattle freeze.
And you're like, these are my people.
And I'm like, yo, these are my people. Like I fuck with Seattleites. Like, that's my type of energy. I also love the rain. I also love the Seattle summer where it's amazing. And so it was just nice to be there. But yeah, PAX itself, I think was just super fun to be at. Andy, was that your first PAX?
No.
It was my first PAX West since I shared
since
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Since my first PAX West PAX West.
Mm-hmm.
When I shared a PAX Prime. When I shared a hotel room with Kevin Coelho. And he let me just sleep on the couch over there in the cuck chair.
Couch. Yeah. Dude, I remember those days so well. Like it's insane. Like those moments are seared into my brain. Like that PAX 2016 was such a special time. But yeah, man, crazy times. I'm happy you're saying it's back though.
Yeah, and like to be fair, like I think there are certain things like the indie mega booth wasn't there, and I think that was the key thing that felt like it was missing. Was like, man, where is the indie games are still in that area, but like the mega booth, I think really brought a different energy and a different kind of extravagance to the indie like presentation in that big area. But even without that, like walking around, like seeing how many people were out, seeing how many companies were like doing previews and like. The energy was there. It was a really fun time. I also enjoyed Andy, did you visit the Red Bull Creator Lounge?
I did, and it was in the building that I forgot existed until the final day.
Well, and that's because this is a new building. That building only opened, I think, during the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah. And so now for the Seattle Convention Center, they have like the Arch, which is the building that was always there, and now they've added a new building, which is the Summit. And so it's expanded now, and now they moved all the panels and like the tabletop stuff to the Summit.
It was so far away, Tim.
Yeah,
really?
It was like 2 blocks, but yeah.
But like, I just kind of kept on walking. Like there were several buildings in between that you would think would be other stuff, but there's not. It was just like
that's fair.
It was so bizarre, and when I walked over there, I was like, oh my god, I forgot this whole thing existed. This is where the Red Bull Creator Lounge is. And I really just needed to like sit down because I was in between appointments. I was like, what do I gotta do? I go back to the hotel? What am I gonna do in between now and then? So I went to that Red Bull Creator Lounge, Got a little forget what the drink they gave me. Like,
was it the Pina Colada? Because that's the one I
Pina
got.
Colada?
So the Red Bull Creator Lounge was it was like a media / content creator like specified area that was sponsored by Red Bull in collaboration with Peak. And so you go in there and it's just all Red Bull in Peak. If you saw any creator posting pictures with like a Peak photo op, that was there. It was in the Creator Lounge.
I would have sworn it was Pikachu.
No.
Oh no. Nintendo will come after them.
Yeah, no, it is Peak, the $5 video game friend swap thing that we all love.
Yeah.
But the Pina Colada, spelled Peak a Colada, was a Red Bull cocktail because at Red Bull Creator Lounge, they were making Red Bull cocktails.
There's nothing worse than giving a bunch of nerds Red Bull cocktails.
Oh my gosh. I mean, come on. You're talking about my favorite thing on the planet, where every day I drink a mixture of liquid IV and water, 70% and then 30% of Monster Energy drink. Like, I love mixing shit. So like when I walked up there and they're like, well, we have Red Bull, but we also, and I was like, whoa, what are in these little pitchers right here? And they're like, well, this is lemonade and that's whatever.
Chlorine.
And I was like, oh my God, put whatever you want in here. So they so they put some lemonade in the Red Bull. It's what I needed. It was what I needed.
Dude, it was what I needed too.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic. So like it wasn't like that, but yeah, I ordered the Pina Colada and it tasted like a pina colada with Red Bull and it was really good.
Okay.
So good that I came back multiple days after just to get my fill.
I love that.
Yeah, shout out to the Red Bull Creator Lounge. Shout out to the creators of Peak. I hung out with them for a second when I was there.
Shout out to also the Peak Party because I met Daniel Mullins, creator of Inscription.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Hanging out there, I was like, "Holy shit, you're awesome!" And it was Victoria who introduced us.
Oh, cool.
Because she was like, "Do you want to go say hi to him?" I work next to his like desk every day.
That's awesome.
Victoria from Inner Sloth.
Was that Friday night?
Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
Thursday night.
I was gonna say because I was also
it was Friday night. It was Friday night.
Was that the one where I invited you to the Larian party, but you were asleep?
That was Saturday night, and then I was texting I was texting Blessing like. I didn't realize I texted him back that many times until the morning. I was like, whoa, I was like half asleep while I was texting you. Yeah, sounds great, man. Where's the address? And I woke up, I was like, I don't remember sending this.
That's so funny because
it was all the Red Bull, man.
So that was at the Peak party that I had.
Yeah.
The Saturday night at the Larian party, which I invited you to, but you were asleep. Mm-hmm. Victoria was also there, and she introduced me to the like developer of 1000X Resist.
Oh, cool.
And like people who worked on Astroneer as well, which Astroneer had a gigantic booth at PAX.
Yeah, very, very
You would have thought that Astroneer was like Subnautica, like the greatest. It might be, honestly, I don't know. But like it was like one of the biggest booths on the show floor. So shout out Astroneer. I didn't know they were doing it like that.
I know we're jumping all around here, mainly talking about your PAX adventures. We're going to talk about all the games. But a big thing happened while you were gone, Bless. Mm-hmm. A little game called Hollow Knight Silk Song came out. Have you been able to get your hands on it at all?
No, the first time I got my hands on Silk Song was yesterday, and only for like 10 minutes. I think during PAX, once I saw the wave coming through of like the Silk Song hype, everybody getting into it, and like for me just being on vacation, not having time to actually like play it, I think I kind of gave up and was like, well, I didn't really vibe with the Hollow Knight like the first one, and so maybe I'll just skip Silk Song. And then yesterday, Barrett, I think even Roger looked at me, maybe even Andy too, looked at me and they were like, you got to play Silk Song. Like, you're going to fuck with Silk Song. And so I booted it up. I've not gotten deep into it, but I want to play it. It's also the tough thing of we have Ghost of Yote. Hell is Us is out, which I don't even think I'm going to get to touch more of that. I played that for like maybe an hour.
I can't wait to get back to Hell is Us. That game
seems
so
really
good.
cool.
That game is awesome.
And then there are even more games that like are out that I really want to play. So juggling those games is going to be tough, but I've been convinced that at the very least before the end of the year, I want to play through Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah, I'm 13 hours in, and in a couple days, I have a like over 10-hour flight, and I can't fucking wait.
Oh my god,
I'm just
That's
gonna
awesome.
Be like, this is all I'm doing. I'm gonna have my fucking X reels.
Oh my god,
bug it out, baby. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Dude, on the Steam Deck.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So it's clicking better for you than the first Hollow Knight?
It very much is, and mainly because like. It's a Metroidvania from the jump. Like, it feels way more, you know where you're going, and maybe that'll change throughout the game. Like, I'm not that far into it. It's brutal as shit, Bless.
Yeah.
It is brutal, but you could do it.
Yeah, brutal. Like I, if I'm enjoying the experience, then I'll do brutal all day. But yeah, Hollow Knight 1 was one where I was like, I'm just getting lost. I'm getting a little frustrated, and then the brutality on top of that kind of soured it.
Very much though making me want to complete this and then go back to the first one.
Oh hell yeah!
So it's selling me very hard.
Yeah,
loving it. Barrett beat the game. Very impressed.
43 hours.
Yeah, I was stuck on a fight for like 9 hours.
Well, the game just came out.
He was sick.
I don't know. Yeah, I was sick on Thursday and Friday. I was sick on launch day and Friday, and I was still in bed most of Saturday. So it was just laying in bed, having Andy stream on, and playing at the same time.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Andy, do you have any updated thoughts on it? I know you've been talking a lot about it, so we don't need to dwell.
No, I mean, I just played a little bit more last night. Discovering, kind of going back to certain areas now that new abilities have been unlocked and going, oh, that was a place that I didn't have a wall grab and now I do. So let me see what's up here. And just all of that stuff is really neat. And again, it's one of those things where coming across NPCs that you spoke to early on in the game and then you go back and things have changed. And so it's like, I love getting the update on like, oh, you got divorced now. Damn, dude, that's tough. Like, sorry, I asked you about your wife or whatever. Like, I just love hearing that sort of shit. And then seeing the items that they may give you now because of certain conditions that were met, like, really, really awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Remember, everyone, this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership. It gets you the shows ad-free, and it gets you a daily exclusive Gregway. Today's Gregway is kind of fun. It's me and my brother talking about he beat a video game. His first video game since Concrete Genie.
Wow.
Goosebumps.
Oh.
And the something of
Hell
Little
yeah.
Creek or
Nice.
something. It's a very cool Greg game, but you can check out the Gregway for the whole experience there for it. But like he loved it so much, he's going back. He's trying to. What do you call
What, a
the
platinum?
Xbox Platinum? You know what I mean? The 1,000 gamer
100%.
score, like whatever. It's not,
Yeah.
100% is not cool, man. We got to figure that out.
Also, Tim, please, it's Goosebumps, Terror in Little Creek.
Terror
all right?
in Little Creek. There we go. But yeah, check that out if you are a Kind of Funny member. For a chance to be part of this show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. A little housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Games Daily already covered the Hollow Knight Silksong patch that's making the game a little easier. After this Gamescast, it's going to be Alien Romulus in review. Once again, returning to AVP. It's going to be a great time. You're going to hear your favorite song. Come on, rejoice. Then the stream's going to be Mike revealing the real truth behind NBA 2K microtransactions. Oh, fuck. I swear to God, he was just right there.
And
He was. I think it was.
then
It
he
took
left.
too long.
We were going to play Garfield Kart, Tim,
Got it. Yeah.
and then he realized that game's not out.
Oh,
Sick.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
So
also
we're no
grabbed me
longer-
right before the show started. He was like, Tim, I got housekeeping for you. I'm going to do this. I'm like, just come out and say it. And so I think we just took too long. But he has a fun thing planned. I didn't fully understand what he's saying, but it's Mike, and there's a calculator, and there's NBA 2K. So I think he's trying to figure out
How
much
much it
money
actually costs.
I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a fun stream. Stay tuned. Mike's
Yeah.
up to something. You know?
It was a funny morning because as I was prepping KFGD, right, like it was Mike, Roger, Barrett, and Greg that were in the office, and I think it was Barrett that came out and was like, "Hey, the Digimon file's too big," and we were like, "Ah, damn, all right, cool, we'll just." And Roger's like, "What the fuck is happening? What do you mean the Digimon file is too big?" And then like right off of that, Mike comes out of the fucking streaming room and was like, "Garfield's not out, guys." And I was like, only in this fucking office are these the random chirps.
Oh, my God. Thank you to our
The
Patreon.
NPC chirps.
What kind of GTA conversations are these?
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Today are brought to you by Shady Rays and Factor, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's start with the topic of the show. It's Blessing and Andy's PAX Roundup. We're about a week removed from PAX. We had to wait till Bless was all back and gamed out, so we had
Gamed
some
out.
things to say. Starting with the Xbox event. Just giving y'all a little like kind of top level here. Y'all got to play Super Meat Boy 3D, High on Life 2, and a little bit of Hollow Knight Silksong on the Xbox Ally X. So that's mainly what I want to hear about.
Those are my two things. Andy, I don't know what else you had to play at the Xbox thing.
Pretty much the same things. I played the same stuff as he did, yeah.
Nice.
And then at the Nintendo event y'all got to go to, you played Kirby Air Riders, some Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, some Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yeah.
And then
more Silk Song there, too.
Digimon Story, Time Stranger as well, you got to get to. And then some other things that, the Capcom games, Randy, whole bunch of stuff that we're going to touch on today. Let's start, though, with Super Meat Boy 3D.
Andy, did you play this one?
I did.
Nice. I also played this one.
Very cool.
Really fun video game. It's exactly what you expect from Super Meat Boy 3D. And like, I think it's the exact quality you expect at the same time. I think that's the big thing for me, where you hop in. Great. It is the fast pace of Super Meat Boy. It is you trying to hit these perfectly timed runs, doing the precise jumps, the precise like wall jumps and stuff to get to the end of the level. The levels are very like quick. Like if you on a successful run, you might finish a level in like 15 to 20 seconds, right? It's that kind of thing. I had a really fun time with this. I only have like two small nitpicks / complaints. One being there's like a mechanic that's a wall ride thing where you can kind of like glide against a wall. That feels weird. They're doing it right here in the video if you're watching the video version. I thought that felt kind of like slippery in a way that I didn't love for a platformer that needs to be like as precise as possible.
You're wet meat though, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, and then oh well, it was there. I didn't see many of the replays where you would see all your different little Meat Boys.
I didn't see any of that either. I'm not sure. Maybe that was a feature that wasn't on yet.
Yeah, maybe it was like off the menus or wasn't ready for the build, but it looked like they did it in the trailer, so maybe that's not a thing. But aside from that, I had a fucking blast playing this.
I thought they perfectly translated the, I don't want to say floatiness because that's kind of a pejorative. I would go with like
feel of
the
Meat
glide.
Boy.
Yeah, the 2D, that sort of 2D gliding feel of Meat Boy. I thought was perfectly translated to this 3D world. You're dealing with an extra dimension, and it's a little bit tougher to kind of not only hit the things that are above and to the right of you, but now you got to see where your little drop shadow is, wherever you're going to be landing down. It was perfectly frustrating enough.
Yeah.
And that's what you want out of Super Meat Boy.
What's cool about it, I mean, I'm so stoked about this. This looks awesome in here. You guys say that it plays the way that it should. That's all I need to hear. But something I really love about it compared to Super Meat Boy, the original ones, is just the kind of like color set even of the stages. Like, I feel like Super Meat Boy, the 2D version, for the most part, the worlds are very like gray and concrete, and there's just like a lot of that like dull, and you're the red standing out. This is very colorful. Like there's a lot more like Astrobot looking areas here, which is cool.
I thought a lot more visually interesting for sure. The color palettes being used in the different levels, whether it's super lush green forests that you've seen in a lot of different video games, just great saturation on those, but then some kind of more lava factory levels that you would see in the old school games, but with a lot of like good lighting and you know of fire, like forges and things like that. I thought the game looked really pretty.
Yeah, it's funny seeing the footage of the original there, because the original looks, I think, even more drab based off of the or compared to the vibrancy of Super Meat Boy 3D. Like I think you guys hit the nail on the head as far as especially how the lighting I think elevates like how good everything looks. This is one where I didn't want to put my controller down. The demo was only, I think, like 10 minutes
They cut
long.
you off.
They cut you off.
Me too.
But also, I like that in the demo because that created this feeling of,
I want more.
Yeah, like I want more, but then also, I got to get to the end of this level. I got to maybe, I don't know, level 6 or level 7, and it was a level that was so fucking frustrating, but it did the Super Meat Boy repetitive play thing of, oh, I'm getting further and further. Oh, I'm figuring out the timing. There was, whatever first jump was on this level, they were like, they had like shit projectiles, coming towards you, and you had to like jump and land perfectly in like this box that would take you down, and then you would have to like do it again while there's like saw blades and shit coming at you. And when I tell you that shit killed me maybe like 15 times in the course of like 30 seconds. Like I just kept fucking up that first jump over and over and over again, but it's the perfect like, all right, what's the adjustment? I know these levels are made for speedrunning, so there's something I gotta do in the first like, first second of how I position myself that's gonna get me that perfect thing, and I found it. And then it's a race to, okay, how do I beat this before this fucking demo expires on me?
Love that.
And sadly, I wasn't able to do it.
The meta games for you.
The meta games for me, and I wasn't able to beat that level.
But she'll be back.
That's the thing is I was like, should I come back and play this demo again just so I can beat this level? And for me, that's the telltale sign of, okay, no, they got something here. This is a fun game.
That's awesome. Barry, can you bring up the trailer one more time? Because one thing that I really love that this game's doing that a lot of modern 3D platformers have started doing is where you are going to land on the floor, there's like a circle that is showing you like your landing point, which like is so important, especially for these kind of like semi-isometric 3D platformers, just because you never fully know where you're going to land, and that was always a big problem during like their PS1 and PS2 days of things. So I love that this has been, I feel like, a fairly standardized thing these days. So
yeah, it's usually in the form of a drop shadow, but if there's no ground beneath you, then you don't have a drop shadow. So this thing is just kind of a ring. For audio listeners, it's just a lit up color ring that is, I would say, like 2 units below you, based on however you're measuring the way the world design is. Yeah, I think it looks awesome.
Yeah,
and it felt really good.
Moving on from Super Meat Boy 3D, High on Life 2.
Tim?
Yeah.
I think this is my game of the show.
Wow.
Whoa, tell me more.
I wasn't expecting this.
Remind me about you and High on Life 1.
I really liked High on Life 1. I'm somebody who, I'm not like the biggest Rick and Morty fan by any means, right? I'm not out here doing, dances in McDonald's over the Szechuan sauce or whatever. But like, I like Rick and Morty and I like that type of humor. And High on Life 1, I liked fine, right? Like if I was to give it a score, I'd probably say like 7.5 or something like that, right? Like it's in that realm of, okay, I enjoyed that I played this. I laughed at this. I like the improv style, like dumbass meta humor here. This works for me. But when they announced High on Life 2, I wasn't like over the moon. One, because I didn't feel like I really needed more High on Life. But then also, I just found it really interesting of a decision because Justin Roiland isn't back working on this one. And I'm like, okay, well, I felt like he was the voice and like the vision of what this series is.
Squanch Games,
Yeah. Like he's part of the identity of like, I think what has made their games that. And so I figured if they're going to continue making games, maybe you see a different direction. Maybe you see them do a different series. Them announcing High on Life 2, I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're sticking with it. Let's see what this is. And what we got here was something that I thought in many ways, I think is leveling up on what they did with the original High on Life. To talk about it mechanically first, they introduced a few new things. One of the big things that I liked that I didn't realize was, I guess I didn't internalize during the original reveal of it, was that you have a skateboard in this game, and it's one of the core mechanics of like, you press the sprint button, and it immediately activates you skating on this skateboard.
A little hoverboard type thing, yeah.
Yeah, in first person, and you can like if you're skating on it and you press like the melee button, you'll like kick the skateboard up at whatever opponent that you're aimed at. They have like grinds and like walls that you can grind on for platforming challenges and stuff, and it feels really fun in first person. Shockingly, this demo starts you off at I think it's called Parking Con, which is a convention for people that love parking. And so you
give this to Nick Scarpino, man.
You skydive into Parking Con and you are met with hordes of enemies that are taking up parking spaces, and you have to take out the enemies that are on those parking spaces so you can find a parking spot
for your homies who are trying to park. Yeah.
And every time you do, another car fucking pulls up real quick and steals the spot, and so you have to then go to the next spot.
You hear the guy be like, "Oh, damn it! I was just about to get in there, man. Come on!"
And that happens like 3 or 4 times. It was funnier each time. Like that shit really worked on me. But then like after you get through that, you're then learn that you're trying to kill Muppy Doo, who is a senator, and there's like a pharmaceutical company that's turning people into pills. And shit.
Muppy Doo, voiced by Richard Kind.
No
Yeah.
shit.
It's
the
awesome.
Richard Kind.
It's amazing. Yeah.
From Everybody's Live with John Mulaney. God
Yeah.
damn.
And like, when you want to talk about voice acting, right?
Oh my goodness.
You also come across a new gun in the game called Sheath, who is voiced by Ralph Ineson, who
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so they're going for it.
Yeah.
with this.
Yes.
All right. Hell
Yes. Who's like fucking awesome too. Like he's like a bounty hunter who's also looking for Muppy Doo to take him out.
Which, by the way, recently learned his name is pronounced Einstein.
Einstein.
Because he pronounced it in a video where he was doing like a Bloober Team fucking Kronos
Sponsored thing,
yeah,
right?
and he was like, hello, I'm Ralph Einstein. And I was like, oh shit. Damn.
And if you don't know Ralph Einstein, he's Sid in Final Fantasy 16.
He's Galactus.
He's Galactus.
Fantastic
Oh
Four
yeah, no, that's
steps.
you know what? That's a really good call. He's also Galactus. And so yeah, you get him as a gun, and like he has like a cool harpoon move where he will magnetize to enemies and then will blow them up all at the same time, and that was really fun.
That
to
move
use.
is so much fun, Bless. Like I had such a blast. You throw this like pike at an enemy and it sticks in them. And if you see another enemy, you throw a pike at that enemy and the first enemy sticks to them. And then you'll see a third dude throw the other pike, and those two dudes will then magnetize to the third guy, and you get them all grouped up, explode them with that little. There's like a target in the front that's like a big red balloon. You shoot that, it explodes, hurts them all. It was a lot
really
of fun.
That's cool.
Like just as a first-person shooter, I was like, I'm having a blast with this. It's not
what you
Doom,
just said
but-
kind of sounds like a first-person Ratchet and Clank almost, of just like weird-ass weapons like that you're using in fun ways. Like that
That's a
sounds
good
cool.
comparison.
I think that's a great comparison, honestly. You then end up at MurderCon, which is a convention for people that love murder.
Okay.
And you go there, and like it's fucking awesome because you go there, and everybody fucking loves murder, and then they start this like arena situation where everybody's trying to kill each other to then level up on a leaderboard.
It looks like laser tag.
It looks like laser tag.
All neon and everything.
Okay.
But almost kind of feels like Unreal Tournament to an extent, where you're just going around killing people, and then you see your name go like higher and higher and higher. And like that was a really fun segment, just an extended, hey, let's just kill everything. And like your weapons were arguing over like, no, I want to kill. No, I want, like your fucking Ralph Einstein bounty hunter dude is like, oh, I want to kill. And then your knife is like, no, I want to fucking murder. And so you would get more
That's
points
great.
based off of like which one you were using. Yeah, all in all, I had a fucking fantastic time. I was laughing. There's like a lot of funny bits. The final boss fights that you do in this demo, you fight Muppy Doo, and he has this thing where he shrinks down, and he has like a is it like a shield where if you shoot him, or no, it's not even a shield. I think he like uses his like minions as defense, where you would shoot him and like his like little minions would like pop out or whatever. It was kind of weird, but
He
also,
kept on Ant-Man shrinking.
yes,
And eventually he jumps into you, the player.
Oh no.
And your AI that's controlling you is like, holy shit, he's breached in. He's into our systems. And then he invades your settings menu. So you have to go to your settings menu to find him and locate him. And it is so cool and creative. And you end up, and then you see like the word settings that's above quit to menu will start to kind of vibrate. You're like, oh, that's where he is. And you hear him talking. So you go into that menu.
That's awesome.
And then, dude, at one point, he hops into the audio menu, and then he's just kind of fucking with your whole UI
yeah, it
in the
changes
game.
the language.
He goes into your audio menu and goes. He's hovering over NPC chirps, like the amount that maybe you don't want your NPC guns to be talking a lot, the chatter bar.
Yeah.
So you could lower that. But he goes to the right of it, so you have to attack him, but you're raising the chatter bar. And then Ralph Einstein's like, oh, it's a great day today. Here I am. And Ralph Einstein's just like talking and chattering
That's
nonstop.
really cool.
It was so damn creative. I was really, really kind of,
And-
surprised by the depth they went into.
And this bit goes on for a while where you're starting off in the pause menu. You see now that he's in the PC menu. And it goes so far that you end up in a different game. You end up in like NES Bible Adventures.
Yeah.
Oh wow. that is quite the call out.
yes. And so like
An angry video game nerd legend.
Yeah.
it gets fucking crazy. And yeah, like this was one where I came out of it and I was like, okay, no, this game is in good hands. They also had this demo build was they put work in it where I believe the audio director of the game, they had interstitials where they're like, all right, we want to jump you forward to this other part, and so you would come through in like a little cutscene as like a little guy, and he's kind of doing like a Morty impression, but not really Morty. He's like doing the Morty impression in all but like the voice.
He's doing like kind of any NPC in Rick and Morty, the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I hope you enjoyed that part. So this next part, we're hoping you liked, but that last part, if it wasn't funny enough, we'll cut it. It's no problem if you don't like it.
Yes.
It was cute. Yeah, it's that little robot guy.
Surprise of the
charming.
show.
So charming. Honestly, yeah, my
I like
surprise of the
too.
show for sure.
I enjoyed it, even though they're like keyboard or mouse, and I looked at the keyboard mouse, and it's like, this just gear ain't what we need to be playing on. and also there was just like a lot of input lag. So I decided to just play on controller. I was like, these are like, that's my dad's keyboard and mouse from back home. Like let's get the setup. So let's show off your game the best way possible. And I do think the build was early on enough to where it's still very, very early in development. I feel like it's maybe a year away. Maybe I'm not sure.
I think they've announced.
They said early 2026.
Yeah, I think we're getting it in the next 6 months or so.
It felt very kind of like buggy and framey in some moments, and they kept on saying like, "Damn it, the build earlier was not doing the shader compilation shit as much as this one is." So I was dealing with some issues here and there.
February 13th is when we're getting this game.
Damn, it is dated.
Yeah. I enjoyed it despite like the tech issues and despite playing on controller. I could tell it's gonna feel like a really fun game to play on keyboard mouse with how twitchy it can be, and it just kind of felt like not an on-rails shooter, like because you're grinding a lot, but it just
a guided experience.
The movement of it all felt so much fun to be like, let me go up this ramp, land on that grind, shoot, jump down, shoot the skateboard out. Very, very active.
Yeah,
very cool. Moving on from that, the last thing y'all saw at the Xbox event to talk about is the Xbox Ally X itself. Andy, I know you talked a little bit about it already and your experiences. I don't know if you have anything more to add, but Bless, what were your first thoughts on playing this new handheld?
Yeah, sadly, I don't have much to say about it because it was available with just Hollow Knight Silksong playable, and Hollow Knight Silksong is out, so I can't even say anything as far as like, oh man, well, you guys know what that game is. But holding it, I like how it feels. I think the grip adds so much as far as how ergonomically nice it is to hold and play.
So now
with.
we have two people that are pro grip. On this thing for sure.
Yes.
Love this.
Yeah, I think that's a huge upgrade. But sadly, I didn't get time with like the UI or booting up other games or whatever, and so I don't have much to say. But first blush impressions, I really liked holding it. I like the Asus ROG Ally as a machine, and so like I like the ideas that they have as far as the Xbox integration and making it like more, I guess, Xbox central. As far as if you're somebody that is your ecosystem, being able to make that the centralized thing. I think makes sense, and if that's something that appeals to you, then I think this is recommendable. We don't know what the price is, and so maybe that's the one thing.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Still, and that's the one thing where I'm like, maybe the price is what really brings this thing down. I'm pretty sure it will be, but holding it, I was like, man, this seems fantastic. I would love to play on this thing long term.
Anything else, Andy?
No, it all just depends on me making the criminal mistake of not checking out them back paddles. I didn't check out those back buttons. I just didn't even think to do it. And also, this experience was not us seeing the Xbox UI. It was just play the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we know that people at Gamescom got more of the Xbox UI, like kind of, here's a walkthrough of how everything works. But yeah, I got to recheck to see how those back paddles look. Feel free to send me one if you all want to.
Feel free, everybody. Just like you can feel free for these ads. This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. You know that moment. The one when you realized you left your favorite pair of sunglasses at the beach. We've all been there. I'll never forget leaving my incredibly overpriced sunglasses at a restaurant in Santa Monica. That was 13 years ago, and it still haunts me to this day. But then I found Shady Rays and everything changed. Seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive. And here's the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear. Y'all know I've been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm all out and about. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Check this out. You can head to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shady Rays, use the code FUNNY.
Between busy schedules and summer plans, sometimes all you got is a couple of minutes. Factor helps so many of us here at Kinda Funny eat smarter with tasty, chef-prepped meals that are dietitian-approved and delivered right to my door. And now, with more than 65 weekly meals made for how we live and what I like to eat, we've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes us. On many occasions, Factor has completely saved Greg and Jen when they needed it most. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Eat smart at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code kindafunny50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Joey Radstone in the chat says, I remember in middle school, my computer class just consisted of kids taking the trackballs out of the mouse and throwing them at each other.
That's awesome.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that, but that reminds me of a question I heard posed the other day of, is there anything that you feel like with a golf club you could hit further than a golf ball? Like, is there is the golf ball the furthest thing you think you can hit with a golf club?
Because I think by design, right?
I don't think. Yeah, I was thinking real hard about it. I was like,
The balls are like made to do that. What a nice bounce those things
I feel like
have.
a PC trackball.
Maybe.
I feel like that thing can go far. I don't know.
We'll have to test it, everybody. Let's get to the next section, Nintendo. Y'all did something I'm very jealous of. You have played Kirby Air Riders. I need to know what you thought.
You were the first people at PAX West who got to play the Kirby Air Riders behind closed doors. I don't know if that's even true. I'm just saying things. But like for our session, we were. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo invited us out at like, I forget the time. Was it 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
9 a.m. We showed up, and like me and Andy were part of like Group A. It was us two. Logan Plant, I think, was in our group as well. And it was fun. We went in. Our demo was done in 2 parts, but actually like kind of 3 parts because we had technical issues. The first part was us doing the like regular race mode. We did a race across 2 tracks. Is this track that you see here, which was like the first one they showed in the Nintendo Direct, and then also the other track where you had like the water splitting like Moses in the Bible. Those are the 2 tracks we got to do, and then afterwards we did city trials. And
turns out Waddle Doo is Moses in this game.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
He's our guy. Waddle Doo. Okay.
Let my people go. That's what he said. And I want to start with Andy because I'm curious on what you thought about it.
I really enjoyed my time, but I was awful at it. There was also, Tim, there was so many colors.
It's fast, man.
It's
furious.
It was the fastest thing. Also, do not ever pick fucking Meta Knight if you want to turn your vehicle ever. Dude's the slowest piece of shit on the planet. Like, god damn, I hated this dude. The game was really tough and very chaotic, and it was a lot for me that early in the morning. Just there was so much happening. My eyes started to kind of burn with all the colors that were happening, all the turning, the explosions. It was it was like an overabundance, and you'd get the overwhelming feeling of like, oh my god, there's so much happening right now. I don't know what to concentrate on. But that being said, I want to play more, and I want to get into it, and I want to see what the actual strats are, because I was driving around. Good Lord knows what buttons I was hitting. I was hitting like every wrong one possible at every possible time.
Yeah.
But it was still like super intriguing, and I enjoyed mid-match selecting the certain challenges you want to do that are maybe only, maybe good for you because it's like target, you could do that target practice thing.
Oh, for city trials, yeah.
Yeah, the city trial itself was, in my opinion, the star of the show, even though I was somehow worse at that than I was at the racing.
Yeah. I think I echo a lot of what you say. One of the things that one of my first notes here is that it's chaotic as shit, right? Like there's so much happening on screen. That said, I think this game is absolutely gorgeous. Like whenever I see the Moses water splitting the sea, that Waddle Dee, let my people go, right? It looks so fucking good to just look at. I think it's a beautiful video game. But then playing it is so chaotic. I do think it's fun though. Like I kind of like how different and weird it is. They at the demo described it as a vehicle action game, which I'm like, okay, cool, you guys are sticking with this. You're not saying kart racer, it is a vehicle action game. And I understand why they say it like that, right? Because city trials being a big thing, it's not about racing. And then also, even when we are doing the racing, there is something that's way more, I think, just about like the moment to moment chaotic shit that's happening as opposed to like picking up an item and then throwing it at somebody else, right? Like you are sucking up the enemies that are on screen. You are, you activating your special abilities. You are, I think, being a bit more active in like, I don't even know if strategic is the right word, but like there's a different.
I don't think you have time to be strategic.
Yeah, there's like a different level of interaction here that I get out of the traditional kart racers that I would play. Right.
I'll tell you what I was real bad at, Bless, was the melee of just moving the left stick.
That didn't make sense to me.
Hated it.
You waggle the left stick like
which
left
is
and
what
right
you're using to
melee.
Which is what you're using to race. Like, I was so bad at it. I hated the concept of it. If anything, I just wanted to waggle the controller like how you in Super Mario Galaxy, you waggle the controller and all the little star bits come to you. I just wanted to do that or something, but like the stick you're using to control your character, when you see an enemy in front of you, you go left and right, and it does the melee, and it just didn't feel right. I hated the feeling of it. And my left thumb just didn't feel like that's the thumb that should be doing this. it should have been the right, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And so super chaotic. Even with the 2 races that we did, I was like, man, I might need more time with this to really understand the depth of this video game, like what you're doing moment to moment. It just feels like a lot.
Yes. So you guys didn't play the original one. I know you guys traditionally aren't necessarily the biggest Kirby people.
No.
And this type of game isn't going to necessarily speak to the two of you. Maybe. Now that you've played it.
Yeah.
Knowing that we're probably only going to get one Nintendo code for this, right? Did you enjoy it enough to be like, I'm going to buy this?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I and that's the thing is like, I think this game is fun. I would buy this at like a $30. I would buy this at like a $40 even. I think after playing City Trial, which we should talk about a little deeper, I came out of this mode being like, damn, that was really fun. I really want to play more of this. But I wasn't actually completely sold on it conceptually as being something that would last me a long time that I'm playing, right? Like I want to jump into this and do a few City Trials on a stream or with friends or online. I don't know if this didn't feel as, I guess, solid enough for me to be like, oh dude, I'm playing City Trials every day for the next 2 months or anything like that. And I think for me, it is the thing of for City Trials, I like the open zone. We're racing to collect the stat boosts, the stickers that you see on screen, and then we're doing the like live events that happen in the moment, right? Where shit's falling from the sky, or there's all the stickers are gigantic now. Like I liked City Trials when you're in the city, but then when you go into the mini games and it's all right, now choose which mini game you want to do. I was thrown off by the fact that we're not doing the mini games together. That was actually a thing that really surprised me.
Different groups.
Yeah, like there's 4 choices, and whatever choice you make, that's the mini game you're doing. And so for us, we're playing with, I guess, that's the thing also, is like we're playing with 4 people. There's 12 NPCs or there's 12 players overall, I should say, for this thing.
But if 2 people pick the same minigame, then don't they go together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, between those 4 mini games, that's dividing everybody up. And for the mini games that I was in, I was like, I guess with the 4 of us, right? I was like, okay, cool. Like, me, Andy, Logan, and I forget the 4th person, but our 4th person all chose different mini games. And so I was like, all right, cool. Now I just feel segmented from like a portion of the people that I was playing with.
Yeah,
that seems
to be common criticism from the people that played at Gamescom as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would have loved for it to have been a mix. You do one group one, because I didn't mind the solo thing, because it did feel kind of cool to go, all right, I popped off in my mini game. I want to see how everybody else did. There was that kind of cool, like, mystery nature to figuring out where everybody's going to be on the leaderboard after you come out of those mini games. But I agree that I feel like at least one of them should have been with everybody, because the way that this video made it seem, and I don't know if maybe I'm the only one who, was confused by the how they were describing it, but it did feel like, well, you want to go for this mini game because maybe that's bad for your teammate. And I was like, oh, I see the strat there. Like maybe everybody votes for this mini game based on speed, and if that one guy is based on weight and power, then that's going to screw him over. But then he wouldn't even go in that mini game if he chooses something else. So it kind of, I don't know, that threw me off for sure.
Yeah. That said, though, like, again, it's fun. Like, it's quick fun. It's almost like arcade fun. You know what I mean? Like when you go to an arcade and it's me and my friends are going to play this game in the moment and it's a really good time. It just didn't feel like depth-filled fun. And I think that's just the kind of game this is, and that's fine. But also, yeah, to your question, I wouldn't pay $70 for this.
Yeah, which is what it cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on from Kirby Air Riders, Andy, you have already talked about this as well, but we got to at least touch on it. And Bless, I don't know if you got your hands on Elden Ring Tarnished Edition on the Switch too.
Yeah, running rough. Not great. Played on the TV. I probably should have played on handheld as well, or maybe gone for handheld first, but wasn't a very smooth experience. Definitely didn't even feel like I was averaging 30 frames per second. It really felt like I was like 25 and below. It was pretty damn rough, especially in a game that requires such quick reflexes. And the more frames you have, the faster the game recognizes your button input, because there are more opportunities to recognize your button input. And yeah, it was a rough time. I think that they were maybe going for let's go for better visual quality, and maybe they need to tone that down to then try to get us more frames possibly. I'm not sure exactly. Nobody knows what's happening with From Software and their technical team, because their games rarely ever come out, and run perfectly on any device, regardless of how strong your machines are. But yeah, wasn't an awesome experience, but it was still, I was like, I played this game a million times. I'm just going to try to take down the Tree Sentinel with the new class. So they have a couple new classes start off with Erd Tree weapons, which is the DLC, which was kind of surprising. One of the new classes they introduced that you could start off with was kind of like a knight character, and you start off, if you know Ball, starts off with a milady, which is a kind of like this sword that you eventually hold out, and it's just like really fast and awesome to use. Couldn't beat the Tree Sentinel with it, but I was getting close. If you gave me like 10 more tries, I would have gotten there, because I was getting like below 50% health. It was just really tough to kind of, I was like, I hit dodge there, and it just didn't read it in time, unfortunately. So yeah.
I needed to go after Margit, because that was the thing where I did the demo, and I did it on TV first, and I came back later and tried it a little bit on the handheld. But as I was playing the demo, I was like, well, I might as well go for Margit. And as I was doing it, the Nintendo / Bandai PR reps that were there.
Did you get on the horse? Did you get on?
Did I? I think I did. Yes, I did. I did get on the horse. Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, oh, nobody's ever like beaten Margit in this demo build, because the demo build, it's another timed one where it cuts off after 15 minutes. And so as soon as it said that, I was like, all right, bet. And then I I beelined for Margit, and I beat Margit with like 2 minutes to spare, and they're like, damn, you're the first. And I was like, I got to get Andy to like do this too, so we can like claim that crown. But like, like Tree Sentinel, it's cool too.
Try to do
it's
Tree Sentinel,
It's cool too, Not all of us can,
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I echo everything Andy said. I think I was expecting it to be worse though.
Did you do handheld or TV?
TV.
Okay.
TV first, then I came back and did handheld a little bit.
Oh.
Handheld, I think, felt better than TV. I think because of the smaller screen, some of the visual stuff just didn't feel as aggressively bad. But even on TV, the frame rate for sure felt sub 30. But I think I expected it to be worse based off of the Gamescom previews. I wouldn't be surprised if this build was slightly tweaked or slightly better based off.
I had heard rumors from people that this was an updated build from the Gamescom build, but you could have fooled me. I would have assumed this, to me, this was as bad as you can have a game this big from a company that large running on one of the biggest company's consoles. Like, it was just not very, very subpar, not what you want.
Yeah.
I would say.
Hate that. Let's move on to Pokemon Legends ZA. Did both of you play?
Did.
Yes.
I imagine you both played the same 10-ish minute demo that Greg did.
Yeah, it's the same exact one. It's 2 segments, both about 10 minutes long.
And?
I loved it.
Tell me more.
I loved it. I mean, I just love the active sort of, everything being cooldown based and not turn based necessarily. And I wonder how that progresses, and if you can make certain moves have a faster cooldown. It just felt really, really cool. And say what you want about the art style. I don't mind the art style of the newer Pokemon games. It was always just the art style and the hardware it's running on that was the biggest drawback. But man, it was just so nice seeing it look so crisp and running at 60. It's just like, oh, this is what I've wanted. Like finally we've hit the summit. It feels like we're almost there, Tim.
You saying I love it so quickly gave me chills. I'm gonna be honest with you because I didn't expect that coming from you at all.
No, man. I mean, like, like we're grading on a curve based on where we're coming from and what we've seen in the past of just how this game has looked in the past. And I'm grading it on expecting, hey, this is what a Pokemon game looks like, and what I've seen it look like in the past. The lows can go real low.
They're abysmal, yeah.
And it can be really, really disappointing. But I just loved how crisp everything looked and the fact that it was running so smoothly in 60. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the active running around, dodging the attacks that you need to, pulling out the Pokemon and throwing a new one out. Like all of it it felt cool and it felt so like you're in the moment right there.
Very cool. And you said that you might have some hesitancy towards it long term. Like, do you think that they'll figure it out and there'll be something there, or are you surprised they're going with this active style that is very different than anything they've ever done?
Well, I think this combat style will very much just be the Legends combat style. I don't know if I'll see. I don't know if
it's different than the last Legends game.
Arceus.
The last Arceus game was not like it wasn't cooldown based, right? Like
it was a turn based.
It's the first time we've seen this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would expect future Legends games to go with this style, and then the mainline games just be their own sort of classic to what Scarlet and Violet had. I enjoyed it. It's different enough to where, I don't love the atmosphere of the only being all city based, but I'm still super stoked to play this whenever it comes out. Like, this is one where, hey, if they only send us one code, will you buy it? Yes, I will be buying this 100%.
Yes.
I wish I liked it more, and I don't think it was bad by any means. I think the active combat here just isn't like my taste as far as like what I look for out of these games. That said, I do think there's a Pokemonization to what they're doing with the active combats. That is kind of nice. When we go in and it is like, you recognize the moves. Hey, do growl, do quick attack or whatever, and it's snappy and it's quick and like, I'm not somebody who plays many, I guess like MMOs with comparable battle systems where it's more active command based. That said, I think this game did the Pokemon thing and condensed that battle system down in a way that is easy to understand and is easy to jump into. But yeah, by the time I finished the demo, I wasn't like, oh man, that was really fun. I think I was kind of like, all right, cool, that's different. But I don't know if like I'm excited for it now. And I think on the flip side of Andy, right, like this game does definitely run smoother and sharper than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and so that was a nice adjustment. But I think I'm over this art style. Like, I look at the environments and I'm like, man, if this wasn't Pokemon, we'd be dunking on this shit. Like, this shit does not feel like it should stand alongside what we view as like the other like, main staples of either JRPGs or Nintendo games, right?
Or just video games.
Or just video games.
Or anything.
Yeah, I think on grading on the curb, Andy's completely correct as far as like, oh yeah, this is a step up, and it's kind of nice to play something that doesn't hurt my eyes necessarily, but I look around in these environments and these characters, and I'm like, man, I wish this was more inspired. Like, I wish I could be like, man, but this looks, not only does it look serviceable, it looks good. Like, I wish that was what I was saying about it.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, jumping from Mon to Mon, bless. You did something I never, ever thought I'd see. You played 3 hours
Yes.
of Digimon Story Time Stranger.
Yes.
And
I think this game is fucking awesome.
let's
Whoa.
go.
We gotta talk about Digimon more as a gaming
Finally,
industry.
Barrett, our time has come.
Our time has arrived, Tim.
Chat,
Everybody get the goggles.
listeners, games media, when we have our conversations about games coming out and JRPGs and just fucking games to look forward to and all this shit, we gotta make sure to add Digimon games to the equation. Cause why did I barely know that this game was coming up? And like, why is this game so fucking good? Here's my thing, right? Barrett, you gotta check this shit out. Because this is the most Barrett-coded game I've played that I know that you're not like that you haven't gotten around to checking out, right? Because it is, I know you like Digimon, and of course,
Fuck with Digimon.
This is Digimon,
Yeah.
but it's Digimon that is filtered through like a monster taming / monster collection game, right? It feels like it has so many hints of Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and Pokemon,
Yeah.
but then tonally, it doesn't feel anywhere as near as kiddie as Pokemon, but then also it's not as demonic as SMT. And so it hits this nice like young adult vibe of, okay, cool, this is a nice, chill, relaxed story. I think the story elements that are there that I experienced are fun. So to break it down, they gave me like 3 hours worth of gameplay here for me to play. They gave us like 4 hours, honestly, of time to play the game. If we wanted to just hang around with the demo and play for the 4 hours, we could. I played the 3 hours and I was like, okay, I'm good. But the 3 hours were segmented into like two 90-minute portions. The first one was the beginning of the game and like the first kind of like dungeon they get you into, which starts off fairly quick. Like the game kind of snaps you in there fairly quickly, which is nice. And then the second portion is further on in the game and they give you like a specific like contained story chapter to play. And story-wise, honestly, the way they set up everything, I'm so out of the loop on Digimon. I didn't watch Digimon as a kid. And so, like, your main character that you play as, it also isn't like this isn't a known character.
No, this is its own kind.
This is all its own thing. And so, like, the world that you're jumping into is a world that's like, you know, they're not like expecting you to know anything prior. They're kind of introducing you to a lot of these concepts as if you're a new entry level player here, which is nice. But also, I was kind of like, all right, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. But then for that second 90-minute portion that they threw us into, I thought that was a good presentation of, oh, wait, I really like what they're doing with story and characters and writing. Because basically, in that second further on section, they drop you into like this beach community of Digimon. And Tim, did you know that Digimon, they talk and hang out and have communities?
Yeah, dude. That's their whole thing.
Champions.
They're chill. Like Digimon be like,
their whole
they
world.
chillin'.
They just hang out, man.
They got their own world and shit. And so you go and like you're in this community of this like beach community of Digimon, and then you have this Digimon who's like a healer or like a doctor in the community or whatever, and he's taking care of this one named Divermon, who is from this community of Titans. Do you guys know what Titans are? They're like these
Eddie George.
I'll say well remember the Titans. They're like these underwater like sea-based Digimon, and the Titans are like known for invading this beach community, and like they're like they antagonize them essentially. And the healer the healer Digimon was taking care of like one of the Titans that just washed up, and the Titan like awakens and he's like, damn, y'all actually kind of chill. Like, let's
What were we fighting for?
yeah, basically, he was like, dang, you guys saved me. You guys took care of me. Like, we got to squash the beef. Like, let's figure out how to, like, mend the relationship between the Titans and, like, this nicer community. And so, like, you then go through, you, like, enter the water, you go under the water, and, like, you're fighting Digimon on the way in, like, kind of like a dungeon scenario that does feel akin to a Persona or a SMT, where you go through, you do the battles, and the battles feel like a Pokemon. They feel like an SMT. You're switching out different Digimon that are on your team. And it's like element-based. Plus, there's like another rock, paper, scissors system it's virus. Hold on, I wrote it down here somewhere. It's virus, data, and vaccine. That's like the rock, paper, scissors system that they have in there as well.
Vaxxed?
But you get into the battles. Battles are fun and snappy. One of the Digimon I had was a cool, like, dinosaur-looking dude that had, like, 2 cannons on his arm and then a cannon on his face.
Dude, I love that Digimon always just felt like, you know, when a 4-year-old draws anything.
Dude, Digimon are cool as fuck.
What if I put a jet on a raptor, and then you would always see, like, on Twitter where it's like, hi, I'm a professional artist, and my son drew this jet on a raptor. Let me make it look like, you know, let me upgrade it with my art skills. It's just, they just throw shit together. It's the best.
It's the best. But
Barrett,
yeah,
I'm gonna send you a video to assets that I would like you to bring up for us to watch.
a lot of guns and cannons in Digimon also. A lot of weaponry.
No Second Amendment.
Like they really just out there carrying it in Digimon.
I guess full on Second Amendment rather.
But yeah, I really like the underwater section because you go through, you then meet the boss and you get in the fight with the boss. It's the whole thing. I won't spoil it. But that section was super fun from a story perspective. But then also, this game just has a lot of RPG depth to it that really impressed me. Like this game feels like it's for sickos. Like if you're an SMT or you like games where you can like build a party of monsters and like really adjust how you stat them and like create the most hardcore perfect team. This game feels tailor-made for that kind of player. One of the things that one of the Bandai team members, they were really excited to show me was the Digifarm, which exists in like, you know how Clear Obscure has the mansion that appears randomly that you go into, or like Persona has the Velvet Room. Basically, it's that kind of situation where there's a door that shows up and you go into that door. It takes you to, there's a word for it. It's like a space between spaces, you know? I mean, it's like a Digi-realm between realms kind of thing. You head in there, it looks like a hotel lobby. You talk to a guy and you get access to the Digifarm where you can place Digimon into to like hang out, chill, adjust their like social stats, and then also allow them to level up over time.
Nice.
Kind of like leaving a Pokemon in a daycare situation. And you can
come back and the Digimon's like beefing with the other ones. He's like, "You won't fucking wash the dishes, dude." I don't know. Like he's just,
I'm gonna fucking shoot him with my arm cannon.
And you can customize the Digifarm. You can like give Digimon different like traits. Like they can become like amicable or like different. They have different kind of personality
natures and stuff.
Natures that then adjust how they level into certain stats. Shit's deep. This shit seems like it has a lot of depth to it. And I came out of that demo super impressed, had a lot of fun with it. And I was like, man, Barrett's got to check this thing out.
That's awesome.
Do you know when that game comes out?
Soon. I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure
it's
October.
I know when it comes out. It's the day after Ghost of Yote.
Wow.
It is a little under 2 weeks before Pokemon Legends Za. And that's just like, that's a lot of months.
Here's what I'll say, Barrett.
That's a lot of months.
Just try it out. It's October 2nd is when this game comes out. And all I'll say is like, you ain't got to commit to it, Barrett. Just play a little bit of it. See if it's to your liking. That's all I'll say. The game gets you in quick. It gets you in quick. I was very impressed in the first 90 minutes. I finished, I pretty much finished a dungeon. And so 90 minutes.
My hesitation was more so the length of the game. Just because all of the things that you're talking about, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a 60-hour ride, possibly, question mark. And
probably.
So, yeah.
I played Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth on a Vita. And yeah, I was like 60-something.
So it's one of those, like, I know Pokemon Legends Za is probably going to be like 15 to 20 hours.
Here's what I'll say. And chat's saying it too. Demo's out this week.
Oh, shit.
Maybe
but here's the thing: is like I even though I beat Silk Song, I feel like there's a lot more to do in Silk Song. So
goes to 2C later. We're playing Digimon.
Demo's not demo's like gonna be like what, an hour at most.
Who knows, man? These RPG demos sometimes
those demos are always like, here's a bunch of story stuff, and you're barely gonna play the game. You know?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The Metaphor Fantasia demo is like 3 hours or 4 hours.
Timmy, do you want me to bring up?
Yes,
this video?
please play this video.
Right to bear arms, yes. What if we gave that Pokemon a Glock? Yes. Patamon, the little loaf of bread with wings. Have it evolve into the Herald of the Heavens, into God's most feared executioner. He shall evolve into a giant wolf, and then giant werewolf, and then into cybernetic mech wolf that shoots missiles out of his chesticles, yes. Now that you mention it, I want everyone to shoot missiles out of their chesticles, yes. Pokedex, preposterous.
That's really how it is.
For their digital destinies, yes. But how shall we end each of their names? What if War Greymon was the coolest character ever designed? What if War Greymon was exquisite? The only thing cooler than War Greymon will be Dark War Greymon, yes. The enemy shall be defeated by the power of friendship, yes. I yearn for this little creature to evolve into a canon, yes. First official film. A comprehensive narrative? No thank you. Splice up 3 random episodes, smash them together, and it will be exquisite. This enemy is incredibly powerful. However shall we defeat them? friendship? What if Ash was really into goggles? Yeah. Ah, yes. Grant him the leadership goggles.
I thought he was doing.
good.
I thought he was doing a Jordan Peterson impression.
That's
at first.
really good. I can't figure out the name. This might be. I saw a Digimon that was straight up just a gun, like just a pistol.
Oh,
And
sick.
I Google searched Digimon that's a straight up gun, and I'm pretty sure this is a different Digimon that's also
shit.
a gun. Like they really just be putting guns and cannons and weaponry on these things,
The first evolution of the gun, it was a fox.
and I appreciate it. I love this.
Okay,
shit.
since we're here, Barrett, I know we're running long, but I need to show Blessing Gatomon.
Okay.
And then
My main critique: I don't like that they all end with Mon.
yeah, but that's
that's the
it is
thing, you know?
what it is, man.
It's doing too much.
It's yeah.
There was also
there's
a
no going
Digimon-
back at this point.
There was a Digimon in my preview that I'm pretty sure was just a straight up child, by the way. And I don't know if that's a story thing.
I mean, things get weird.
Where I thought you were just a homie.
There
and
are
then
children,
and then they entered the battle. And I was like, oh, you're doing attacks. What is happening?
If you can bring up Gatomon, please.
I'm on it. I know where you're going with this.
Box in the chat says Gato man. Awesome.
Gatomon.
Awesome. So Gatomon, for those that don't know, was there was 7 Digidestined in the original show. But then, of course, there's actually an 8th Digidestined. Think about the Green Ranger and Power Rangers. They had to go find Kairi, Ty, Goggle Boy, his little sister. We eventually get from the digital world to the real world. And she has a partner Digimon, Gatomon. What do you think Gatomon turns into in its ultimate form?
I bet you something that doesn't make sense. Because that was the other thing I noticed. There's no rhyme or reasons to these Digivolutions. What do they call them?
Digivolutions. Yes.
Yeah.
Barrett,
It's a
can you
mouthful.
please show a picture of
Jesus.
Anjawomon.
Anja Woman.
Anjawomon.
Because there's Anjumon
Anjamon.
and Anjawomon.
Wood.
Wow. Aja Woodmon. Woodmon.
All right, everybody, let's move on. We got a couple other things here. Where do you guys want to go? What do you want to say?
I really just want to say that we can skip Pragmata and Onimusha because those are awesome. Those are cool. Those are going to be great. Played Pragmata, loved it, and lived up to the hype of everybody else's previews. I thought it was awesome. Onimusha reminded me a lot of Ghosts of Tsushima's combat. Like the way that you're pairing stuff, that's the closest analog I would give it. I had a lot of fun with that one as well. Crimson Desert. The game is real. The game is not this sort of fever dream that everybody thinks is gonna, never run or look the way it does when it comes out.
You played it.
Got a behind closed doors demo for Crimson Desert.
But did you get your hands on the controller?
Yes, I played about 45 minutes to an hour or so. It's awesome. It is so convoluted. Greg mentioned being very confused with a lot of the button inputs. This is definitely one of those you control the buttons you press situation. You can be as expressive as you want. You can just hack and slash and hit the same damn buttons. But there are so many things happening in this game, combat-wise, like triangle and circle, you do an RKO. If you do triangle and circle at the same time. If you're running while you hit triangle and circle,
Every game
you
should have
just,
an RKO button.
You just tackle the dude. If you do hit the back button and RKO, you grab him and toss him. And again, the way that this game is built out is that everything is physics based. Everything is meant to interact and affect something else. So if you throw an enemy at the wall, the enemy takes impact by hitting the wall, then also takes impact if there's a long fall or something like that. Large enemies, you can't lift them up because they're larger and they're heavier. So I asked, could I have RKO'd the boss that you showed me? And they were like, no, because he's a larger human being. But there will be other bosses that are of your size that you can do whatever the hell you want with and use the full kit. The kit that you use in this game, combat-wise, just it felt like a fighting game. Everything was just so nuts in the amount of depth that there is to the combat. It ran great. There were some frame drops here and there, but I expected, a buggy mess based on this game's not coming out until next year. And it was awesome. It looked awesome. It's living up to the hype so far.
That's awesome.
It's got that sort of system where, hey, if you see a torch on the wall, you can bust out your bow and arrow, put the arrow into the torch, and the arrow will light on fire. If you see a big wooden door that's blocking your way, you can light the door on fire, and eventually the the wood will break down into charred wood, and then that's breakable, because normal wood you can't just kind of crack through these gigantic logs. You have to wait till they're breakable. They're doing so much with just the way physics work and the way normal properties in the real world work, where if something's on fire and it goes into the water, it'll kind of like splash and get put out of fire. It was crazy. It was cool. The amount of chaos, the amount of NPCs on screen. It's a real game. It works. It functions. So like all of that shit will work. We don't know what I know they have like their tech specifications of what your PC should have on in order to play it. I feel like they're maybe maybe they're kind of undershooting what the actual tech requirements will be. Maybe there'll be a bit more. I have no idea, but so far it's like, oh, this is something I want to play and kind of get lost in, because
that's cool.
The amount of like just freedom you have in the game. They have this crazy Max Payne move where if you load up your arrow with L2, you jump while if you just load up your bow and arrow with L2, I think you can go into like a slow-mo mode, but if you're running and diving, you can do that as well. And if you dive while you bust out your bow and arrow, then you R1 a bunch, and it shows like a bunch of R1, this is where the arrows are going to go. And so you could put them all on one enemy, then you let go of the slow-mo, and they all shoot out at the enemy. And dude, it's like badass. The amount of combinations of stuff that can happen in this game are insane. And I think at first there will be complaints about why are these normal ass, commands so complicated. I think hopefully they can make some of that stuff less complicated, and I think the gamers will eventually kind of get the hang of things quick. But it's wild what they're doing. It's crazy that it was running and looking as good as it did. Granted that it got delayed till next year.
Hell yeah!
I gotta play this. Like the more I hear about Crimson Desert, the more I'm like, my brain doesn't comprehend like how this game exists.
Yeah, it's wild the amount of stuff and simulations that they're doing, but I think it all comes down to, will the story hit, and that's what remains to be seen. I haven't seen anything based on what I played that's like mind blowing, but I think you could do the same for something like The Witcher 3 and just show somebody, an hour gameplay and maybe not get the sense that this could be one of the best narratives ever told. That remains to be seen, and hopefully, with this game being as large as it is, hopefully it has enough cool story beats to supplement how awesome the gameplay is.
I want to ask a very, very loaded question.
Sure.
But on the critical side, I guess I'll go back and use 2013 as an example, right? Of like, we got GTA 5 and Last of Us in the same year, and I feel like on the critical side and Game of the Years and stuff, right? Like, Last of Us really held its own, and like, I don't want to say it outshined GTA, but it kind of outshined GTA in some regard, like in the critical conversation. Do you think Crimson Desert has a shot of like outshining GTA 6 in like any ways where it comes out and really impresses?
It would have to do it on the narrative side, because if you could couple an amazing narrative with amazing NPCs and wild story turns and cool twists or stuff that'll really kind of blow you away, and if you couple that with this gameplay, I think it would be like, that sounds like GOTY material, but I don't know if it could really kind of hit at that level. But I will say, I think this game will be massive for a while for like social media, with just the amount of things that can happen and the amount of freedom that the player has. In the demo that recently was shown off, you run up to a boss fight and you're fighting through a bunch of hordes of enemies, and you go through the front gates. Well, I went to go fight some enemies on the side of the building, and the person running the demo was like, you could shoot an arrow through that window, break the window, and enter the boss fight from there. And it's like, that's the sort of level of freedom we're looking at, where it seems like this will be kind of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom level of ways that you can speed run things and kind of forego certain things that they want you to do because the freedom is there. And it's like, well, why run through those hordes of enemies and go through the front door? You could break that window and enter from there. Like, seeing that little glimpse, it's like, oh, how will this be extrapolated among 20 hours or whatever?
Fair enough.
There we go.
I also want to talk about these two indie games that I played.
Go for it.
The best indie game I played at this show, a game called Rebounder. This game is going to be all of our obsession. This game is a platforming game where...
What the fuck? That's so cool.
An insane art style, amazing sort of like halftone, cool color schemes. it's just got the sauce for days when it comes to style.
Holy shit.
But you are picking up these little orbs, and it's very like challenge room based, where they got the sort of strawberries in Celeste where you have to land in order to collect the item. But you are picking up these orbs, tossing them off of walls, jumping off of them, bouncing, being super precise. It fucking blew me away. I was like, this game.
How is this out there and we didn't know about
this? Was at the Mix, and it was like, oh shit, this is the one that I feel like everybody at this office in one way or another is like, oh wow.
When we saw like the big like half screen, like the face like talking, is that during gameplay or is that like cutscenes?
There are stuff I didn't see that face thing happen, but there are moments in gameplay, especially during the tutorial, that will have you running, and then it'll kind of cut in to show you like a little diagram of what.
God, that's super
cool.
It was amazing. Yeah, you can sign up for a playtest on Steam right now. Awesome. It really, really blew me away, and I feel like we're all gonna find an obsession with it. If they can figure out like leaderboards or something like that, like this game will really, really kind of blow us all away gameplay wise.
Yeah, I'm wish listing that right now.
Yeah, that's
Rebounder.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then what was the next one?
And then Never's End, which is not my style of game. It's a tactics style game, but it is all 3D, and it looks like such legitimate pixel art that it just looks like a 2D game, but it's a 3D world where you are rotating and stuff, and they're not faking like pixel counts to, whenever games try to pretend that their game is like a pixel art game, but then they'll have a sprite where the pixels are like larger than other ones. You're like, oh, that doesn't look like it fits in this world. They're just using really cool rendering techniques that make the game look like an awesome pixel art game, but it's 3D. And if you can remove our camera, Barrett, to kind of show the text underneath, because and maybe like rewind a little bit, because the way that it all works, they're doing very much like magic physics system, like simulation type stuff, where if there's low heat, you can freeze stuff. If you create heat, that'll create like a wind current. They were just talking to me about how much they love like when fantasy IP do like hard magic, where it's not just you could just spawn magic whenever. It's like you have to have the elements kind of around you, and everything physics based works the way you think it should. When it comes to fire burning grass or fire being put out by water, anything like that, it just seemed like really cool and innovative for such a small team working on this. And I thought that it was much smaller, but like PlayStation put this up on their YouTube channel, so it was really, really awesome. But I was just kind of really blown away by the presentation and the art style of it. Kind of having this cute chibi art style with this pseudo pixel art 3D look to it. Just super impressive stuff. And that was another reminder of like, man, there's just a lot of talented people on this planet doing amazing things.
And you can find it all at PAX, everybody. Yeah. Hey, thank you for hanging out with us for this episode of Gamescast. We're about to do Alien versus Predator in review for Alien Romulus. I know y'all have been waiting a long time for this one, so very excited to talk about it. And then after that, Mike is doing a calculator stream, so stay tuned to find out what that looks like. But until next time, welcome back, Bless. I love you all. Goodbye.